The Hibbing Blue Jackets, who have clinched at least a tie in the Iron Range Conference, will take on the number 4 team in the Iron Range Conference, the International Falls Broncos. With me tonight again is Lance Northey. And they're getting ready for the starting lineups. I will do the International Falls Broncos. In goal tonight for the Broncos, he's played just about the whole year with the exception of 3 games, Bucky Jensen, number 30. At the defense will be number 3, Kevin Erickson. And the other defensive partner will be number 5, Tony Worley. At center on the first line for the Broncos, perhaps the finest line in high school hockey in the entire state of Minnesota. At center, number 14, Travis Scholl. He'll be flanked by 2 sophomores. Number 16, David Gingerich, the sophomore transfer from Indus, and number 17, Corey Lindvall. And coaching the Broncos this year in his first year as coach, he spent 17 years as Louis Ross's assistant, is Terry Burns. And now over with the Hibbing High School starters, Lance Northey.
Starting to go for the Jackets tonight will be number 1, senior goaltender, Rich Jacklin. At right defense, number 2, senior Cal Huseman. His partner at left defense, number 4, senior Joel Gosted. And at right wing will be number 6, Andy O'Brien, Jr. On the left wing will be senior number 8, Paul Girardi, and he'll be centered tonight by John Rue, number 7, also a junior.
Well, now we're just about ready for our national anthem, which will be played by the Hibbing High School Band, one of the finest high school bands in the entire country. But before our national anthem, a moment of silence to honor the memory of Frank Malacher. We'll now await the leaving of the color guard from the ice here before we have our playing of the sportsmanship song and the start of tonight's hockey game. Falls Broncos started very, very quickly this year, right into a little mid-season slump, but they have come on over the last couple of games and are again playing excellent hockey, have seemingly clinched at the worst they can do in the IRC this year will be 4th place after they defeated defeated Evelyn and Chisholm earlier this week. So they have clinched at least 4th place. and they're looking to actually try to surpass Greenway here. If Greenway will lose a couple, the Falls could conceivably sneak into third place. The Jackets, well, they've clinched at least a tie for first place. A win tonight would give them a undefeated conference record, and that would give them the tie. The Jackets are going for an undefeated conference record. If they should do so by beating International Falls tonight and Aurora Hoyt Lakes in their makeup game on Monday evening, it will be the first time in Hibbing High School history that the Hibbing Blue Jackets have ever gone undefeated in the Iron Range Conference. So this team's looking to be record setters this year, and the sportsmanship song is ended. Lance, this ought to be a dandy coming into a game tonight. A couple of teams, big rivalry. What do you look for?
I look for them to come out bumping right away, Steve. You know, Hibbing right now number 1 in the conference, and the Broncos right now 4th. Eventually, I think these teams will end up playing each other during playoff time. You know, ranked number 1 and 4. Those numbers come up quite often during playoffs.
Conceivably, in this conference, if we set up a scenario with International Falls finishing as the North number 4 team in the Iron Range Conference, they could conceivably take on Proctor in Proctor, which actually be in Cloquet in their first round game of the playoffs. And the Proctor Rails have a tough hockey club this year, so that'd be no cakewalk for the International Falls Broncos. Play in the Hibbing zone as we're underway. Steaming out to center ice goes Paul Girardi. Girardi goes to the center. Now crisscross over to the far boards. Puts a quick shot on it. Goes wide of goaltender Bucky Jensen. Huseman puts on a shot. Slides along the ice. Just goes wide. Gosted tries to hold it in. Can't do so. And we have a delayed offside called on the Blue Jackets. So we're off and running. 14:28 left.
Hibbing's doing what they exactly want to do at the beginning of any game. The first period, they want to take shots from outside. They don't want to set anything up right away. Get early shots on net, get the feel of the game, and get the butterflies out.
Rue, Girardi, and O'Brien out against... Now a change for the Broncos as Kilbride, Maelstrom, and Bergstrom come out. So the Broncos change lines quickly. And there's a good possibility that Brian Glotz, who's also out on the ice right now, will not play very much at this point of the game because he does have the flu. Now puck into center ice, shot down quickly, back into the Broncos zone. Back to pick it up is number 6, Jeff Bernard, as we have Bernard and Mark Glowak out at the defense. Shut into the zone as Maelstrom couldn't handle it. Now the Broncos will quickly change up again. It's the Terry Burns style of hockey he's brought to International Falls, his quick change-ups. Now puck comes deep in the corner. TJ Culbertson races in, but quick shot and a save, and Jensen is hammered as Terrell went down, slid into him. Now comes out to center ice and picked up by Hardy. He turns and Stavnis fires it up ahead to Steve Terrell. Quick shot goes wide. Jensen will clear it behind his own goal. Johnny Schwartz back there. Terrell also comes out to the blue line. Can't hold it in as it came right up the center. And Hardy gives it back to Stavnis, and the Jackets regroup in center and dump it in the zone, and now they will change. Kendall Corpy back to pick it up. Now he gets it ahead to Timmy Kilbride, and Kilbride bumps it out to center ice. Now puck way up to Doug Terrell. Terrell at the Falls blue line, tips it in front. Tommy Sullivan just could not get his stick on it as Doug Terrell, big hit over there on Danny Kasner as Terrell, Kasner, and Sullivan out. Now here comes a break for the Broncos, 3-on-1. Coming right in, number 16 in there beautifully on that play was David Gingerich, the sophomore from Indus. But Rich Jacklin held his ground. Now spin around over the blue line, can't hold it in, comes back out the center now as we have the line of Gingerich, Lindvall, and Scholl out for the Broncos, along with Kevin Erickson and Tony Worley. Terrell, Sullivan, and Kasner out. Now Johnny Rue comes on the ice. Puck goes by Tom Piscuzzi. Left back there for Joe Gosted as Gosted and Piscuzzi now on the defensive position. Held in nicely at the point by number 19. That's Brian Glotz. Glotz suffering from a severe case of the flu, but he's going to give her a go tonight. He's out there right now with... Can't see who he's out with right now, but here come the Jackets. Girardi back to center ice. Nice check. Couldn't find the puck to Jeff Bernard. Races down to the Hibbing blue line and into the zone, and offside is called. Players flying all over the ice. Lance, good quick action here.
really quick by the Broncos right now. They're shifting lines even less than a minute, a shift right now. They're switching again right now. I think they're taking like a 45-second shift right now, trying to mix lines up a little, trying to maybe outsmart Billy Olson here in a way.
Now dumped in the zone as Kilbride dumps it in. Kilbride is out there right now with Eric Glennie and TJ Culbertson. So we have a change on the way it was given to me at the beginning. And now we're going to have a penalty on Hibbing. Foolish penalty on the Jackets taken by number 2, Cal Huseman. So quickly the Jackets will be shorthanded now. Time of that penalty, 3 minutes and 34 seconds.
This program is brought to you in part by Sullivan Supply, Pro Sports, Northwoods Fords, and Manny Shopper.
Huseman, 2 minutes for holding. Time of that penalty, 3:34. So the Jackets will now play shorthanded. On for the Broncos comes their big line, Scholl, Gingerich, Lindvall. These 3 young men can really skate and play. Now it comes out to center ice. On for the Jackets is Stavnis, Steve Terrell, Mike Hardy, and John Schwartz. Play in the Jacket zone. This is Lindvall. Lindvall gets it back to Kevin Erickson. He bumps a shot right on. Big save. Rebound left to the slot. Another big save for Rich Jacklin, as he comes up twice there as they left the rebound laying in the slot. Nobody could get to the puck. Jackets in their box. Travis Scholl, brother of Terry Scholl of UMD Bulldogs. Travis Scholl has a point in every single game in the last 2 years, with the exception of last year's Iron Range Region 7 championship game. So this young man can really play. Steve Terrell intercepts the pass, breaks through, still manages to clear it to the corner. Now he'll race to the bench, and we'll have a quick change by the Jackets. Here comes Travis back to center ice. Travis Scholl. And we'll have offside as the puck rolled back just over the blue line, and it's whistled offside.
For a young line, Steve, they show a lot of charisma, a lot of hustle and stuff like that. 2 10th graders, it's tough to come into, varsity competition and play like these 2 young men do.
David Gingerich played on Indus last year for Indus, who had an 18-5 season record last year over in Indus in Region 8. And in fact, David Gingerich had, I believe, 38 or 40 points last year for the Indus high school hockey team. So this is a 10th grader that's quite a veteran. He's been on the varsity since 8th grade. This is one of those guys that comes along once in a lifetime that's a super hockey player, and they're going to see one tonight. Now to center ice comes Mellstrom. Mellstrom is hit, and the puck is shot all the way down. And back to chase goes number 6, Jeff Bernard. He's chased by Doug Terrell. Now on for the Jackets, Stavnis, Terrell, Doug Terrell. John Rue intercepts with Gosted still out there, but now it's taken away by Bernard. Doug Terrell re-intercepts. Now Bernard picks it up and skates it out of the zone. Take it away. Lots of play in center ice. Now into the zone comes Mellstrom. He takes a shot that's blocked at the defense. Stavnis dumps it behind the net to Brian Glotz. Now it comes out to center ice, and Stavnis will skate it out. Stavnis loses it, however, to Kevin Erickson, but the Jackets have killed this off, and there's a delayed offside on the International Falls Broncos.
The Jackets right now killed that penalty real well, Steve. They didn't let the Broncos get much started up, and every chance Jackets got the puck, they shot it down right away.
I'm going to do a little adjusting on my score sheet here, as number 9, Timmy Kilbride, is playing along with TJ Culbertson and Eric Glennie. Originally thought to be Klaus Schumacher on that line, but Schumacher will be a spare forward tonight. So number 20, Klaus Schumacher, becomes a spare. Tim Kilbride moves down off the second line to center, Glennie and Culbertson for the Broncos. Now Huseman dumps it ahead, and Andy O'Brien shoots it in. Back behind the Broncos zone, it's in the goal, it's intercepted. Quick shot from the point goes wide by Huseman. Bronco player losing his stick as he broke his stick. Now Hardy holds it in nicely right into the slot, but O'Brien's bumped off the puck. And here comes TJ Culbertson. Gets it ahead to Kilbride, he dumps it in the Hibbing zone. Richie Jacklin sets it up, pushes it to a corner. Big hit over there by O'Brien, and now the Jackets charge back to center ice for Huseman. Gets ahead to Girardi. O'Brien does a nice job of holding the puck in, skates it down into the corner, goes around behind the net. Now they battle along the near boards. Dumping it out, trying to get back to Hardy at the point. Can't do so, and here comes Eric Glennie over on the long pass to Dave Gingerich. As now the Broncos will change up their lines again and bring that potent first line out. Here comes Johnny Schwartz, though, 1-on-3. He knocks Jeff Bernard flying. Puck goes back to center ice, and Travis Scholl brings it in. Now it's deep in the Hibbing zone, and Hardy picks it up, and he'll use the boards to bump it out to center ice. Here comes little Zabachnik. Patty Zabachnik. He goes down the corner. Wall of icing on the Jackets, so as Zabachnik raced for the puck but couldn't reach it.
Jackets forwards really come back nice. They help out, they complement the defensemen with the Jackets real well. They come back as a group, and they break out as a group, and that's one thing you need to, you know, succeed and get down to the state hockey tournaments.
And hopefully that's where the Jackets will be in about 3 weeks from tonight. Well, it'd be nice to be sitting in a hotel in St. Paul getting ready to go watch the Jackets play either Bemidji or Warroad or somebody out of Section 8. That's the late game in the first night, the first evening session of the Minnesota State Tournament. Hibbing will either play the winner of Section 8, which now looks to be Roseau, the favorite. Quick shot on by Steve Terrell. Goes into the corner. Zabachnik can't quite hold it. Gostad tries to hold it at the point. Now it comes out to center ice to John Schwartz. He gets it over to Steve Terrell, but it's skated off of his stick by Tommy Hauska, and Hauska shoots it all the way down the ice, where Jacqueline will set it up for Joe Gostad, who stumbles. Now bats away up the center ice to Tom Sullivan. Gets a break as it bounces over the defenseman's stick. Quick shot as that puck got by Worley. Quick shot by the Jackets. But a little bit wide, and goaltender Bucky Jensen got his stick on it. Now they come in again. Doug Terrell drops it back into the slot to Kasner, but he couldn't get a shot off as he was checked by Tom Hauska. Now they battle along the near boards, and we'll have a face-off coming to the right of goaltender Dennis Bucky Jensen.
This is that hustling line by the Jackets right here. These three men really move well. Kasner, Terrell, and Sullivan. Real fast-moving line, real pickup line for the Jackets.
Now, quick shot goes wide by Huseman over there to hold it in. It's Stavnis, but it's blocked at the defense and comes outside the Jacket zone. Since the injury to Pete Wohlers, the Jackets have had to change up their lines, and it seems like almost they got a little better balance right now with these, with the Terrells broken up, and this is a real scooter line. As now Tommy Sullivan will leave the ice, and the Jackets will make a change. Big play, Bucky Jensen sprawls, and it goes wide. Now it's dumped out to center ice, and back to pick it up is Paul Girardi. Girardi dumps it ahead, hits the Falls blue line, but it's dumped back out by Kevin Erickson. Now the puck all the way into the Falls zone, and back to chase is number 6, Jeff Bernard. Bernard tries center, it comes right up the side of the net. Bucky Jensen pushed it behind. Now they try the wraparound, no good, as managed to deflect off the side of the cage. Now it's held in by John Rue, but it comes out to center ice, and Travis Scholl gets it over to Corey Lindvall, sophomore Lindvall, and there with the save is Rich Jacqueline. Both goaltenders are coming up big when they have to tonight.
Terry Burns, the coach of the Broncos now, I see him really shifting lines real quick now. It seems like he's trying to get his first line with Scholl, Gingerich, and Lindahl with the Jackets' third line, but I wouldn't say the Jackets do have a third line. I think all are compared and top-scoring lines. Right,
Bill Olson believes they're all equal, the first, second, and third lines, and he alternates starting them as the game progresses. Like tonight we have Rue, O'Brien, and Girardi, so next time I suppose Terrell, Sullivan, and Kasner would start the next game. We'll have to wait till Monday, but that's usually the way it goes. Now it's dumped into the corner by Gingerich, and the Broncos will change. Girardi behind the net, knocked off his stick by Lindvall. Comes back out to the point. Quick shot there by number 8, Kendall Corpy. And Rich Jacqueline will hold on, and the faceoff comes to the left of goaltender Rich Jacqueline.
Jacqueline, no, it's important for a goalie to get some long shots in. He likes to get involved in the game early. He doesn't like the tough shots right away, and he's getting the outside shots, which gets him involved in the game.
Well, it's good that you make the first couple of saves. You really do get involved in the game, and that's good for Rich Jacqueline. He's made the first few. Now a quick shot by Brian Bergstrom comes around the side of the cage. Puck lays loose at the side of the cage, and now Huseman will control. Falls Broncos missing a couple of players tonight, Keith Kroska and Keith Berg, as they are both out with the flu, as the flu has hit International Falls. Steve Stavnis, we understand, has a case of the flu, but he's out there playing tonight, and hopefully we'll be able to make the remainder of this game. Now they battle on the near boards, try to tie it up, and there is Girardi. He pushes it loose, gets it over to Steve Terrell. Terrell wheels. Puck still loose over there. Now it's picked up by number 19, Glotz. It's G-L-A-T-Z, Glotz. And they get it ahead. Here comes Johnny Schwartz. Quick shot by Schwartz. Hit the defenseman's stick. Huseman shoots. Oh, and a dual save as Corpy and Corpy, the defenseman, and Jensen got their sticks on that puck to deflect it wide. There was an open cage here, and now just conveniently flipped on a play by Tim Maelstrom. Will get the face-off to the left of goaltender Jensen.
Bucky Jensen flopping down there in the first shot, got a little laxed and didn't get up for the rebound coming off the boards. Johnny Schwartz hustling down on the net. Jensen not getting up in time. Schwartz almost there to drop one in.
Now Kasner and TJ Culbertson take that face-off. They lay loose in the slot. Now it comes out to center ice. As controlling it was a Bronco player, but now Tommy Sullivan picks up, shoots it back in the zone. Here's Kasner. Sullivan races in, tries to hold it in, can't do so. Here comes Eric Glennie. Eric Glennie steaming back to center ice with Tim Kilbride. Glennie still controls. Now it's knocked off his stick by Hardy. Glennie is a junior, number 21 for the Broncos. Now Hardy controls in the corner. And they dump it out to center ice, trying to reach Kasner, can't do so. Puck shot right back in, dumped out again by the Jackets. Now Kevin Erickson bumps it in, but it's knocked down at the defense. And trying to hit Sullivan was Kasner. Couldn't do so, but now the Jackets will change and bring on that top line of O'Brien, Rue, and Girardi. As cutting in front of his net was the Bronco player. Gets it ahead. That's Travis Scholl. Now here comes Gingerich. Gingerich trying to feed Scholl, can't do so. O'Brien picks it up. They still control, dump it right through the slot. Nobody home. And Huseman will pick it up. Huseman dumps it out to center ice, tries to hit Girardi. Wave off the icing as the puck must have touched Girardi. And it's down the zone. Johnny Rue flips it right over the net, right over Jensen's shoulder. Yeah, I guess I could say Benson. He's on TV about this time. Now comes across the front of the net. John Rue tries to get his stick on it, but can't do so. Rue still controls, dumps it out in front. And it's intercepted. Here come the Broncos trying to come back to center ice. Nice play by John Rue to break it up, but back comes Travis Scholl, or as he's affectionately known in International Falls, the Beaver. Now we jump it in the zone. It kind of looks like the Beaver from Leave It to Beaver, so that's a nickname he has up there. Girardi trying to dump it out to center ice, now does so, and it's cleared ahead by Steve Terrell. All the way back into the zone where number 2, Tom Hauska, will pick it up. Comes up the near side. The Falls players just dump it to center ice, and Steve Terrell picks it up, drops it over to Zabachnik. Bob talked thought about icing, but decided he did get onside, so there was no icing called. Steve Terrell fights it out from behind the net, but it's intercepted in front. Now Brian Glotz tries to clear it out. Now the Broncos pick it up and steam back to center ice. That's number 2, Hauska. He dumps it in, and they make another quick change as the Broncos continue throughout this whole period to make quick changes. We're down to 2 minutes left in this period. This has been a very fast period. Steve Terrell with a shot. Was this one? Rebound and a goal! Pat Zabachnik on the rebound. Jensen, the puck came off the boards. Jensen failed to play the puck. Steaming right in was Zabachnik, and he dumps it in, and the Jackets have scored. Time of that goal, 13:05.
I was just going to say the Jackets are only getting shots from outside, and they're not getting inside on the Broncos. I thought that the Broncos right in the first part of the period there were playing a good defensive game, but they let Pat Zabotnik slip in, and he punched one home. Give the Jackets an early 1-0 lead.
Now there seems to be a little discussion about who exactly got the goal down there in the penalty box. We wait for the call. I believe it was Zabotnik from Steve Terrell. We'll have to wait and see. And a puck shot in the zone.
Scoring for Hibbing.
Up comes out Tom Sullivan. Quick shot by Kasner, goes weakly up the foot.
From number 19, Steve Terrell.
Zabotnik from Terrell. And now the Broncos control. Jackets steal behind the net. That's Doug Terrell. He skates around, now circles back. 2 Bronco players all over him. Worley and number 13, TJ Culbertson. Now the puck comes free. Steve Terrell gets dumped. Now he's kind of slashing away a little bit at Kevin Erickson. Now Steve Terrell goes down again, and they hold it behind the Bronco net. So a big goal for the Jackets with just 1 minute and 55 seconds left in the period. They break the ice here, and let's see if they can hold off now, how that carries them into a second period, Lance.
It's a big momentum getter for the Jackets right now to get that 1-goal lead. You never like to start a game down a goal. Jackets get the 1-goal lead, and momentum shifts to their side right away.
A late goal like that, really a good pick-me-up?
It is. It's a letdown for the Broncos. You know, they're into the game, 0-0 through most part of it, but then when they drop one late in the period, it's a little letdown for the Broncos and a pickup for the Jackets.
Johnny Rue drops it back to Huseman. Big stop by that's Gingerich. He went down to block that shot. This is a young man that's not very big, little David Gingerich, a sophomore, and threw himself right in front of that shot. And I think you probably feel a few of the effects, but the face-off will come outside the Bronco zone.
Boy, blocking shots like that for a 10th grader, I don't think Gingerich can weigh more than, 150, 155 pounds, and that's something you can't really teach a player, just all on gut level.
Now a quick shot by Rue, just goes wide. Jensen got his toe on it. There's a nice shot, a wrist shot by John Rue. Now they try to get back to the point. Hardy manages to hold it in. Now it does come outside the zone, picked up by Girardi. He'll skate it right back in, puts a little move on, goes down, quick shot, big save by Jensen. As Girardi fell over his own player, now we've got a held puck. And Bob Tuck's going to call a penalty here on the Broncos. So with just 13 seconds left in the first period, the Broncos will be shorthanded, and they'll probably play this beginning of the second period shorthanded. Looks like number 7, Mark Glowak, going off the ice.
Nice hustle by Paul Girardi, after getting tripped there, still got the shot off away. Bucky Jensen for the Broncos goaltender had to come up with a tough save. Good hustle by Paul Girardi.
Well, a delay of game penalty on Glowak as he kind of fell on the puck.
Not a good penalty to take right away. He had a chance, to clear the puck out, and 13 seconds left. Not a good penalty to take right now.
Well, Girardi off that faceoff just rolled it on net, and Bucky Jensen holds on. Now we're down to 11 seconds. Boy, if Hibbing could score here quickly, they'd go into the locker room with a 2-goal lead. Regardless, they'll start the second period with a power play for 1 minute and 47 seconds. Now it's cleared out to the point to Steve Terrell. 6 seconds. He tries a shot that's blocked at the defense. Held in, down to John Rue. 2-1. Third in the slot. Nobody home, and that's the end of the first period. 1-0 Hibbing. Lance has a recap.
The only goal of the period was scored by Hibbing, Blue Jackets. Pat Sabotnik. Assist went to Steve Terrell, and that was at 13:05 of the first period.
6 saves in that first period for Bucky Jensen, 4 for Rich Jacklin. Hibbing goes in at the end of the first period with a 1-0 lead. 1 minute and 47 seconds left in the Falls penalty to start that second period, and that second period is coming right up. Well, we're back and ready to go here with second period action. Jackets will be on the power play for 1 minute 47. Set up the scenario here for the Broncos having to kill one off at the start of the second period.
Broncos right now, I just got to remember to play a tight 4-man zone. On 5-on-5, they played defense well, and they got to make sure now that they kill this one off so they can get back to 5-on-5 and get back into the game.
Is it hard to come out cold and play short-handed?
Oh, very much so. Takes advantage away from the Broncos that they wouldn't have if they were 5-on-5.
Well, Steve Terrell skated out from behind his own net, hits the blue line, gets it ahead to Girardi. He skates it down behind the Bronco net. Broncos, it's John Rue centering it out to Girardi, a quick shot, or Gosted. I couldn't see who got that shot. I think it might have been Joel Gosted, but it was blocked. Now Girardi controls, bats it around the other side to John Rue. He does the spin around, moved up and back in the corner, John Schwartz. Now comes out to the corner, the point to Steve Terrell on the left point. Tries to dump it down to Girardi. Can't do so. Big hit by Steve Terrell. And Travis Scholl gets up slowly. Now comes in with John Schwartz. Schwartz ridden off the puck over there by number 3, Kevin Erickson. Now Rue goes down behind the net, and it's controlled by the Broncos, but skated off. Then Paul Girardi comes up with the puck. Girardi spins around, dumps it back out top to Gosted. He just barely holds it in. Puck rolls into the slot. tipped to the corner, and Rue picks it up. Now Schwartz tips it in to Gostad. There's Girardi with a shot. Bucky Jensen goes down to cover the post. And it's back to Gostad, who dumps it into the corner now for Girardi. Back on top to Gostad. He just uses it off the boards to get to Schwartz. Now the puck will roll outside the zone where Girardi will tip it back to Steve Terrell. 12 seconds left in the Bronco penalty. Steve Terrell back behind the back pass. Almost made the play. Now Johnny Rue controls and skates in behind the Bronco net. Now tries to get it back out top to brother Doug Terrell. And he can't get it as he fell down, and Gostad goes back. Now Gostad falls down, but manages to tip it ahead to Steve Terrell. Here come the Jackets. Jackets moving from left to right. That puck goes off a defenseman, Weirley's. Pazzo, quick shot in front. Big stop by Jensen as that shot was taken by Doug Terrell. Now the Jackets still manage to hold in. Now it's dumped out by Weirley all the way down the ice. We'll have icing on the Falls Broncos. So they've killed it off, Lance.
They did a good job. The Broncos, their forwards on the penalty kill held in tight, and that's what you have to do. Your forwards start running around, and that's when goals happen. They held in tight, and the shots from, except for one, were all from outside.
So now out for the Jackets is Doug Terrell. Oh, racing right in, but ridden off the puck was Tom Sullivan. Doug Terrell, Sullivan, and Kasner with Huseman and Hardy at the points. Now it goes down in front. That's tipped away and out to center ice. No, it's still behind the net. Excuse me. I was looking at my notes here and not seeing what's going on. Tim Mellstrom, Glotz, and Bergstrom on for the Broncos right now, and they have trouble getting out of their zone. Picked up by Doug Terrell, skates it right around. Bucky Jensen slides out and grabs it with a jacket right there. As they were sprawling, that was number 16, Sullivan, mucking it up in front of the net. And Jensen holds on with 12:14 left, and the Jackets holding on to a 1-0 lead.
The Jackets now putting on good pressure right now, but Bucky Jensen's been up to the task. He's been tested a few times early in the second period, and he's played well the whole game.
Started out the year just playing fantastically. In fact, the Broncos jumped out with 6 straight wins, and then they ran into a little slump and had a little problem in the middle of the season, but Bucky's seems to have his bearings back to some extent now, and the Broncos are playing better. They've won twice already this week. Now comes back in the Jacket zone. Back to pick it up is Pascuzzi. Now rolls out near their boards. That's O'Brien trying to get out, but it's intercepted by T.J. Culbertson. Now he dumps it back to the point. Tries to get Glennie, but the pass was a little wide. Glennie couldn't get it. Now Girardi will skate in. John Rue goes right between his legs, and the Broncos pick it up again. Here comes Glennie. Pascuzzi knocks it down. Now they collide, and here comes Stavnes back to center ice. Steve Stavnes into the Jacket zone. Tried to hit Rue, but Rue was going to the bench for a change. And now we'll have right on goal, so we won't have icing. It was almost wide of Jensen, of Jacqueline, but he had to make the stop, so it isn't wide. Now on, there's that big line for the Broncos. But skating it out to center ice come the Jackets. Here comes Johnny Schwartz with Zabachnik. Gets it back to Schwartz, but it rolls off his skates and behind the net. And picked up by David Gingerich. Now he loses it. Steve Terrell tries a backhander. Now he runs into Zabachnik. That's kind of a mismatch, Steve Terrell and Zabachnik. Right in front of Terrell, he scores! That came off the boys in a weird hop. Bucky Jensen couldn't control it. And the Jackets have scored with Steve Terrell.
Bucky Jensen, I think he thought the puck was going to go all the way around the boards, and wasn't really prepared for that puck to come out at a bad angle. And Steve Terrell there to pick it up in a little deke there and went right around Bucky Jensen.
Steve Terrell unassisted, giving the Jackets a 2-0 lead. Those boards have been a little suspect back there this whole season. We've seen some crazy hops in both high school and college games, and they take their toll again here. Steve Terrell all alone, time of that goal, 4:04, and the Jackets now lead 2-0, and the Broncos have a long road to hoe. Last time they were in this building, is we're going to have a, no, it comes out to center ice, so we won't have an offside, as the Jackets still put pressure on. Now back in the Broncos zone, they clear it out. Now it comes out to center ice area, where Gossett battles with Brian Glotz. Glotz will carry it up towards the Jacket line. Last time the Broncos played in this building was last year in the Region 7 Championship. Steve Terrell with a shot that goes wide, and the Broncos lost 2-0. So they're at that same point right now with 10:18 left in this hockey game. Now a wind up and a shot attempt That was a unique play. It was blocked by the defenseman of the Jackets, went back in the zone. Hibbing players still deep in the zone, tied up. Falls players skated out of the zone. And now the Jackets come in and take a quick shot on Bucky Jensen, and Jensen's asking the official about players in his crease. Actually, I think the player was in his net at the one point.
I think he was. Steve Terrell there landing up in front of the net. Not much Bucky could do there. You know, Bronco forwards, I think, a little bit smaller than the Jackets. I think the Jackets are taking advantage of that right now, using the body and trying to take them out of the play. But the Broncos do play well defensively. Still, except for that fluke coming off the boards and one other time down in the first period, the Broncos have kept the Jackets outside, and shots have come from outside of the net.
There's a backhand shot by Doug Troll, goes over the net, comes right out again. And a weird hop. Now it's got shot out of the zone by T.J. Culbertson. And now the Jackets are offside, and that Zolke will call that a deliberate offside, and the faceoff will come down to the left of goaltender Rich Jacklin. Hibbing definitely has a size advantage here.
This program is brought to you in part by Fraboni Sausage Company, Erickson Music Center, Merchants and Minor State Bank of Hibbing, and B&R Engineering Sales Incorporated.
T.J. Culbertson to take this faceoff with Danny Kasner. Now they battle in the faceoff circle. Nobody gets control of the puck. Now the Broncos do get control as Glennie skates it in. Now it's knocked off Culbertson as the puck. Culbertson skates around the net. He knocked off his stick by Doug Terrell. He goes to the corner, does T.J. Culbertson. Now back behind the net for Glennie as he looks for somebody hitting the slot. Glennie being bumped around, gets it back to Culbertson. Now they still battle, and Glennie comes up with the puck. Now the Broncos turn to put on some pressure. And a goal! Number 9, Tim Kilbride. Shot hit a couple of bodies, went right over Richie Jacklin's shoulder. And the International Falls Broncos have broken the ice here at the 5:31 mark.
Just when it looks like the Jackets are going to pull ahead and get up by a couple more goals, the Broncos come back. Timmy Kilbride there shooting a puck. I think Richie Jacklin was part screened. He wasn't sure where that puck came from.
I think the puck maybe even deflected off of somebody, so. I think Kilbride will get credit for it. Now here comes Girardi racing in the zone, playing giveaway. Quick shot goes wide as the Broncos play giveaway there. Now Girardi holds on, another shot right off the shoulder of Jensen. Now the Broncos finally cleared out the center ice. That's Corey Lindvall. Stavnis goes back. They give it away. Here comes Travis Shaw. Shot, big stop by Jacklin. As Richie spread his legs, the puck came right in there, and he just closed them up on him. Good play by Rich Jacklin.
Even a better yet play by Travis Scholl, showing good balance and holding on to that puck to keep control of it and get a shot off. Real good skate control and puck control by Travis Scholl.
Eric Glennie will get an assist on the goal by Kilbride, and the Broncos have closed the gap to 2-1. Yes, as I said earlier in the broadcast, this first line of Scholl, Gingerich, and Lindvall is super. And here they come again. Little David Gingerich, but he's offside. Long shot is just kicked aside easily by Jensen. Jacklin, excuse me, I have problems tonight. 2 J's in the nets. That's Rich Jacklin in the Hibbing nets. And the faceoff will come outside the zone. Now we've got a change of lines.
Boy, tough goal by Richie Jacklin to let in. I don't think, not necessarily his fault. You know, it tipped 1 or 2 times and then screened. Boy, it's a tough job being a goaltender.
Now the puck comes in the Hibbing zone, but Schwartz controls and tips it out to center ice. Zabachnik not looking for the pass, and here come the Broncos again. Now they'll clear it out. This is Huseman coming out to center ice with it. And John Schwartz. Schwartz clears it. Quick shot. Goes off the top of the goaltender's stick to the corner. Puck was going wide, but it caught the top of goaltender Jensen's stick. Now it comes back to the point. Big hit over there as there was 3 players hit the ice. That's offside on the Jackets as Schwartz tried to hold it in but couldn't do so.
Jackets now playing the body real well now. Clean hits, taking advantage of the smaller Bronco forwards.
Well, that's going to be a big part of this game because they are smaller Jacket forwards, and consequently, when they are small like that, you can bump them around and maybe intimidate them a little bit. Now Steve Terrell comes in, just dumps it wide. Bucky Jensen having a little trouble here, as now we have number 10 for the Falls, Bergstrom, losing a glove, which is laying loose there in center ice. Now they'll skate right past that glove. The glove gets kicked over the red line. Here come the Falls, but quickly back is Zabotnik to clear it out. Steve Terrell overskates the puck. Now it's picked up by John Schwartz. Schwartz drops it over to Terrell, back to Schwartz. Tries to get back into the slot. Shot goes wide from the left faceoff circle. Actually deflected wide. Now Tom Sullivan centers it out, but nobody home. That's a penalty on Steve Terrell coming up. Not a real intelligent penalty at this time of the game as he dumps number 7, Mark Glowak. And Terrell argues about it, but it was a penalty, and the Jackets will again be shorthanded.
Steve Terrell picking up the penalty there. Puck wasn't even, near him, and got the tripping called.
Hooking on Steve Terrell.
It's a big chance for the Broncos to get back in the game. A lot of time left in the second period, 7:34, and they're bringing out the Broncos now trying to get back in this game. They're going to bring out their top scoring line.
On to kill this penalty, Doug Terrell, Dan Kazar, Joe Gossett, and Tom Piscuzzi. Top big lineup for the Falls, Travis Scholl, Dave Gingerich, and Corey Lindvall, with Erickson and Tony Worley on the defense. Now a shot goes wide of Jacklin. Doug Terrell dumps it out of the zone. Back to pick it up is Kevin Erickson. Now Doug Terrell picks it up, dumps it still in center ice, and now it's shot into the zone by Erickson. Back goes Gosted. He dumps it right up the center, all the way down the ice. Jensen will come out and set it up for his defenseman going back. That is Erickson. He's ridden off the puck nicely by Doug Terrell, but Erickson controls again in the corner, and the Broncos start back to center ice. Now he just drives it into the Hibbing zone, goes all the way around the boards behind Jacklin. He couldn't stop it behind the net. Girardi picks it up, dumps it, trying to get it out of the zone, can't do so. Travis Scholl holds it in. Now Scholl putting some moves on, but it's intercepted by Gosted as he was checked by Girardi, and Girardi's going to have a break. He can get to the puck. It's going to come in at an odd angle. Comes right in, slides it across. Jensen was there, and the Broncos tried to skate out, but Girardi hustling down there takes it away. Great play by Girardi to kill this penalty. Now it goes over to John Rue. He breaks in all alone. Backhand shot. Jensen with the save. Now the puck goes behind the net, and John Rue controls again. Stavnes wants that puck at the point. Trying to get it into the slot. Can't do so. Now John Rue holds it again. Blocked this time by Erickson. He tries to hold the puck. Can't do so. Girardi controls behind the net. Looking for Stavnes. Finally gets the puck. Wise and shoots. Right there, a shot. Oh, just deflected wide by Bucky Jensen. Jensen not sure whether, I think Jensen's hurt. And the faceoff comes outside the zone. And Bucky Jensen for the Broncos is hurt.
Boy, the crowd now really showing the appreciation of those two Jacket forwards. Johnny Rowe and Paul Girardi really firing up the club there. A lot of hustle. Paul Girardi making an attempt on Bucky Jensen, then coming back on the back check. Nice back check to pick the puck up.
I can honestly say that in the times I watch high school hockey, I don't remember forechecking like that on a man short. We're going to have a penalty on Worley. Delay a game on Worley as he throwing the puck on the side of the net. Faceoff will come to the right, but what a beautiful forechecking by the Jackets there on that shorthand situation. Time of that penalty will be 9:04. Are we going to have a penalty shot or a faceoff? I don't understand what we're doing, but we're taking our time here.
See what happens, Steve. Anytime that puck is frozen behind that the end red line, they're going to call a delay a game or at least bring the faceoff outside the blue line, and that's what happened there. Bronco defender throws the puck behind the end red line, and reason for calling delay a game.
But the faceoff should still come down in the Bronco zone, I would think, because the Bronco player got the penalty for holding. That's a second delay game penalty, by the way, on the Broncos.
Now they're checking out Bucky Jensen there.
He went down and sprawled and seemed to do something to his knee because he got up very, very slowly, was hurting, and he's over at the bench now, and they're checking out. I think, in fact, he's out of the game. He'll have to leave the game. Rich Rudd will come in now.
I don't think they're going to even give him any shots on goal or warm him up now. That old Billy Smith rule, that old Islander rule, and they used to have Melanson come in there for a few minutes and get him warmed up and then replace Smith just to get a timeout. They do that.
I think they can warm him up because he has an injury. And in high school hockey, they still let him warm up, but in the pros, you're not allowed to warm up. But Bucky Jensen definitely wasn't hurt. There's no faking there. Rich Rudd has not played particularly well this year, so there'd be no reason at all for the Broncos to change goaltenders there because Rich Rudd in the games he has played has gotten shelled. So this is a big, you hate to say it's a big plus for the Jackets, but, Rich Rudd's confidence has been down. We'll have to see what happens. I had a little talk with him before the game, and he looked like he was ready. He sounded like he was ready, so we'll have to see. But if the Jackets get one quick on them, that could be all she wrote for the Broncos here.
It's tough for the Broncos, 2-1. They're right in the game here. And for a goalie to come out like Richie Rudd, not really warm or anything like that, and not really tested or proven himself during the year, it's a tough role for him to come into, and it's a tough role for the Broncos to play behind.
Well, Bucky Jensen made 8 saves so far in this second period. He has a game total of 14 for his part of the game. The faceoff will come to the right of Rich Rudd, as Rich Rudd is taking over in goal for the Falls Broncos, and I'm real happy to see something. I'm happy to see our director's having such a good time. He's really into this game, and he's jumping out. In fact, we've got to hold him back. I can't see in the corner sometimes. He's hanging over the boards, and it's nice to see that an old guy like that can really get involved in the hockey game. Comes back quickly. Quick shot right on, and Rudd will hold it. As John Schwartz fired that shot. And I had a little talk with Rich Rudd before the game, and I said, Richie, instead of going out there and trying to win the games and worrying about winning them, I said, take each save as the first one. You make one, then they come down, you make two. Just take them one at a time, and if you keep that kind of attitude, you'll do all right. So let's see what happens. I hope I didn't psych them up too much, because I'm still looking for a Jacket victory, but Rich is a good kid. Here comes the Jackets, 2-on-1. John Rue shoots high over the net. Rue came in. He had Girardi on the other side. Hibbing's back at full strength now, so with 1:33 left in the penalty, there's a shot to goal. Steve Terrell beats I'm having trouble. Rich Rudd to the short side. Rudd was screened in front, and Steve Terrell has his second goal of the game.
Well, you can't fault Ricky Rudd there. As a screen by Johnny Schwartz. A nice play by Johnny Schwartz. Won't get an assist on the play, but a team player sits on front of the net, doesn't pick up an assist, but causes a screen, and that causes the goal.
9:34 the time of the goal. Remember, John Schwartz did that in the last game against Greenway down here. He was stuck in front of the net, and Steve Terrell scored a goal like that.
And it'll never show up in the paper. It'll never show up in the scorebook. But the players, the coaches, and we all know who caused that goal. That was Johnny Schwartz. Nice screen in front, and he said it won't be in the papers tomorrow, but his team members know that he was part of that goal.
Dustin and Girardi get the assists. So the Jackets take that 2-goal lead back now. Now a shot right on Rich Jacklin. He makes the saves. Now we've got, not only we have 2 Jays being, now we got 2 Riches in the net. So I don't know, it's going to be a tough night here all the way around. Another pass ahead. This time it's picked up by Zabachnik. He dumps it off. Rudd makes the save with his blocker. Now takes a swipe at Steve Terrell as he went through the crease. Comes out to Huseman. Huseman fires a shot. Rudd kicked at it, went wide. Now the Broncos control. That's Jeff Bernard. They're trying to get out of the zone, but Zabachnik calls it in along with. Now Zabachnik does pick it up, as over there was also Hardy, just barely holding it in. Now here comes Huseman. Huseman fires a shot that's blocked at the defense by Bernard. Comes right back out front, shot to goal! Could be Dan Kasner, I'm not sure. I can't see a number from here. It is Dan Kasner, I believe.
Danny Kasner will get credit for that goal, waiting for the puck to come off the boards, and goaltender Rich Rudd not too well prepared. Should have been hugging the post. As soon as that puck goes behind him, he should have been on the post right away, and it came out. Danny Kasner there, and to pop it in.
Well, this is everything that Zabachnik and Huseman will get assists on that goal by Dan Kasner. And the Jackets now lead 4-1. Big hit over there in the near boards. In talking with the Falls coaches before the game, I asked them about Richie Rudd, and they said he just hasn't been very effective at all this year. He's been shelled every time he's been out, and they haven't been satisfied at all. And now they're stuck, and he's got to play, as they had an injury to the starting goaltender Jensen, and it's cost the Falls 2 quick goals.
Just when the Jackets and the Broncos here in a close game, they have to put in Richie Rudd there, and he hasn't come up good for him tonight.
Doug Terrell tries to center it, but it's knocked down nicely there by number 2, Tom Hauska. Now behind the net, Tom Sullivan controls, centers around the slot. Nobody, player was there, couldn't get a stick on it, was Kasner. Now a Whistler is goal! Over Rich Rudd's shoulder by Stavnes. Again, a screen in front, but I think Richie still should have seen that shot, but he did not move. This is going to be really frustrating for Terry Burns over there. They were just getting back into this hockey game.
Boy, Tommy Sullivan setting another screen right in front of the net. You saw the goaltender, Richie Rudd, in frustration, hacking away at number 16, Tommy Sullivan. Tommy Sullivan getting Richie Rudd there to, you know, get his mind off the game. And anytime a goaltender takes his mind off the game for 1 minute, you know, he's down. And because of that goal, because his frustration on Tommy Sullivan. Good part on Tommy.
The Jackets pour it on back in the zone now as here they come. Center out front again. Steve Stavnis scores. Mike Hardy with the assist. And Tom Sullivan also gets an assist. Now down in the Hibbing zone, we're going to have a delayed penalty, I believe, on the Jackets. And it is a holding penalty. I think it's going to go on John Rue, maybe. I'm not sure exactly, but I think it's John Rue.
And Johnny Rue there losing his stick and trying to take out the forward. Not using his body, he used his arms, got him inside the Bronco player, and caused for that holding penalty.
2 minutes for holding.
But I'm really impressed with the Jacket forwards coming out and getting in front of the net and causing screens. And like you said, Tommy Sullivan picked up assist, and most of the time that doesn't happen when you're sitting in front of the net on a screen shot, but beautiful play by Tommy Sullivan down on the other end.
There was a quick shot right on by Bernard. Now the Jackets skate up to center ice. Last time they were a man short. They played superb hockey, forechecking. And ultimately the Broncos took a penalty to Tony Worley, and 30 seconds later the Jackets scored the power play goal and really got them going as they have broken this one open 5-1 with the injury to Bucky Jensen. And you just see the confidence go out of the Broncos when Bucky went out of the game. They just seem to have no confidence themselves in goaltender Rudd, and you just kind of see the air go out of him when he went down. Now players sprawling over there in the left faceoff circle. Now Schwartz puts his shoulder into somebody, but the Broncos skate it back to center ice. Here comes Lindvall. Dumps it over to Travis Schold. He drops it back, Gingerich. Gingerich drops it to the point. Quick shot. Goes wide. That shot by Hauska. Now he'll come off the ice, and onto the ice comes number 5, Tony Worley. Comes right out. Shot. It looks like a goal. It is a goal. Rudd couldn't hold the pipe, and the puck just squeaked through, I think.
Travis Schold.
Travis Schold will get the goal. Well, the Beaver scores again.
Boy, now the Broncos aren't really out of this one. They still got 2:10 in the second period and another 15 minutes of the third period. Shows good pride on the Broncos' part to keep coming back and never say die.
Well, that goal late in this period may boost them a little bit. Well, that's that line. Travis Schold gets the goal. Gingerich and Lindvall will get the assists.
Scoring a power play goal for international foul.
Puck back in the Jacket zone against a power play goal. Oh, big hit! And Doug Terrell is level, holding his mouth. He is going to go off the ice. Big, big hit in center ice. Now we're going to have some pushing and shoving. There's a stick work a little bit by Tom Sullivan. He's a little angry down there. You need to get out of that. The broken stick is lying here in pieces in center ice. Boy, did Doug Terrell take a hit.
Boy, I see that stick broken at center ice there. I hope that stick didn't come up, you know, and snap against Dougie Terrell's chin there.
He held his chin when he got up. He got up slowly. He's over there now being attended to on the bench, but boy, that goal just added life to the Broncos here, and now it's going to be up to the Jackets really to score a late one here in order to take some of that momentum away that they're starting to get. You could see the life come back when that puck just dribbled through Jacklin, and now we're having a little ice repair in front of goaltender Rudd. Tough situation for a goaltender to come in the middle of a game. You weren't prepared to play and didn't expect to play, weren't really mentally ready, and yet you know, these high school kids are going to have to learn that anything can happen and that you may have to come in and play.
And what's impressive about that is the Broncos, just because a new goaltender got in, Richie Rudd, that they didn't let up and they came back. It's 5-2 now, and they're still into the game. We see the importance of that face mask, though, Steve.
Yep.
You know, that wasn't a cause of a high stick or anything like that. It was a good hit, and it probably protected Doug Terrell from getting a serious injury.
Second number 244.
And O'Brien with a quick shot. Rudd with the save. Now puck goes over in the corner. Players piling in there. Richie Rudd came up with a save. I'd skate away from that one. His big Paul Girardi and very little Brian Bergstrom stare down each other. And Bergie's about a half a foot smaller than Paul, and they'll come off the ice. I don't think you want to really tangle with somebody like that.
You know, with Bronco size and that, what they want to do right now is start moving the puck. The Jackets got a couple of good skating forwards, but for the Broncos to get back in the game, they're going to have to move the puck a little bit more because they are the smaller in size tonight.
Now they'll take the puck back behind his goal is Kevin Eriksson. It's taken away by Girardi. He centers it out. Rolling puck. Gossett finally gets him, and now it's knocked down. Here comes Lindvall on a race with two Jackets. Shot right on. Big stop by Richie Jacklin. Now it's just left behind the Jacket net. Back to pick it up is Mike Hardy. He's being hammered. Oh, big hit by Lindvall as the Broncos have come to life here late in the second period. Now Travis Scholl intercepts. Skates it right out. This kid, about 5'8", 180 pounder, 185 pounds, and he's solid rock. He's hard to move. And Travis Schultz starting to use that weight now to his advantage. Now the Broncos making some line changes here as the Jackets skate up to center ice. Johnny Rue picks it up. Here he comes 2-on-1 with Andy O'Brien. Quick shot to goal! John Rue beats Richie Rudd. And 6-2 Jackets. Not much you can say about that one. Nice play by the Jackets with that long lead pass.
Nice shot by Johnny Rue, but the goaltender Richie Rudd should have come out and cut down that angle. He was at a bad angle shot. The defender for the Broncos was coming back and picking up the forward coming down, Johnny Schwartz, so there could have been no pass coming over, and in that case I got to fault Richie Rudd on that goal.
John Rue will get the goal. Have to get the assist here. Paul Girardi will get the only assist. Quick shot, big stop by Rich Jacklin as he got his glove on that one. Puck came out in the slot, cleared out of the zone, 34 seconds, and it's offside. As the Bronco player couldn't quite clear the zone. I hope you got your voicing ready, because there's been quite a few goals in this period, as 7 goals scored so far in this second period.
Well, the Broncos just when they look like they're gonna get back in the game, start hitting bodies, moving the puck, and then they let that one in. Don't take nothing away from the Jackets, so they're skating hard. Johnny Rue with a nice shot, beating Rudd on the upper blocker side.
That's the big thing about this Jacket Hockey Club. They are capable of coming back. You saw it in the Greenway game. They fell behind. They scratched the clock. Finally got a lead, 4-3. Came out and took it away and wound up winning the game 6-3. But they just keep coming at you. There's no quit in this team whatsoever. And consequently, the Broncos are really have their backs up against the wall with 26 seconds left, 6-2. Here come the Jackets again. Now it's cleared out in the corner, and they'll come out to center ice where Stavnis will control. He dumps it out, but there's a delayed offside coming up. Now it's cleared out to center ice to Lindvall, over to Scholl, but it's tipped back over into center ice by the Jackets' Schwartz. Now Terrell and Travis Scholl battle. They comes into the zone, goes over to the corner. That'll be the end of this second period. Big hit by Travis Scholl, and John Schwartz is down. And that last second hit by Travis Scholl, and Schwartz getting up slowly. But that's the end of the second period. 6-2 Jackets.
Scoring the second goal for Hibbing was Steve Terrell, unassisted at 4:04 into the second period. The third goal was also scored by the Hibbing Blue Jackets, Steve Terrell. Assist went to Joe Gosted and Paul Girardi. That was a power play goal at 9:34. Fourth goal of the game was scored by Dan Kasner. Assist went to Zabotnik and Huseman at 10:32. And the fifth goal was scored also by the Hibbing Blue Jackets, Steve Stavnis, by Mike Hardy and Tom Sullivan at 11:09. And the final goal of that period was scored by Johnny Rue. Assist went to Paul Girardi at 14:07. And the second goal by the International Falls Broncos was scored by Travis Scholl. Assist went to David Gingerich and Gary Lindahl. And that was at 12:50 of the second period.
Corey Lindahl with that assist. Now in that second period, Bucky Jensen had 8 saves. Richie Rudd had 2 for the Broncos for a total of 10, giving them 16 2 periods. Jacklin had 8, giving him a total of 12. And now, as we see at center ice, John Schwartz is finally up and being helped off the ice over there in the corner. As we see him coming off, he's not feeling real chipper right now. We'll have to hope he can come back. But at center ice, jacket royalty will be coming out, as this has been snow week at Hibbing High School.
Choir and Spanish Club. Their hobbies
major in chemical engineering. She has earned her bronze and silver H-bid. Accompanying her is team candidate Cal Houston. His parents are Richard and Kathy Houston. His activities include member of the hockey and tennis team, vice president and representative of the senior class, member of the National Honor Society, and Hispanic Club. His hobbies include skiing, swimming, hunting, reading, fishing, water skiing, listening to music, and spending time with family. His future plans are to attend a liberal arts college and eventually attend law school. He has received his bronze and silver H-bid. And now for the moment we've all been waiting for, our new jacket and jamboree king and queen. Our king is Pat. Our new queen is Sherry Whitelaw. His parents are Leroy and Betty Whitelaw. Her activities include a member of the Constant Choir, secretary of the National Honor Society, and co-captain of the gymnastics team. Her hobbies include swimming, playing the piano, reading, doing gymnastics, and spending time with friends. Future plans are to attend St. David's Adult College. She works as a lifeguard and a gymnastics assistant for the joint recreation and park board. She's also earned her bronze and silver H-bid. And our new jacket jamboree king is Pat the Buckney. His parents are Fred and Tracy Buckney. His activities include a member of the hockey and football team and founder and president of the Southside Survival Club. His hobbies include all sporting activities, listening to music, spending time with his family and friends. His future plans are to attend the University of Texas and major in business administration. Ladies and gentlemen, our jacket jamboree queen and king candidate and our new king and queen.
Okay, we're back and ready for third period action, and a couple of injuries late in that period. Lance, you have your doctorate in hockey. Give us a little update on what exactly happened and what can be done about it.
Well, Bucky Jensen there got hit with a shot. Went down for a shot and he got hit in the top of the kneecap. And what happens a lot of times in that muscle, that blood vessels break and it hardens up. And two things are going to happen is it's either going to turn to fluid and roll down to the bottom of the knee, and they're going to have to drain it out for Bucky, or his body's just going to have to eat it away itself. So that's a tough injury with the playoffs coming up for the Broncos and Bucky Jensen.
Here comes Travis Scholl breaking in. Now it's stolen away by the Jackets. They try to clear their zone. John Schwartz, injured at the end of that second period, took a stick in the neck. And he's back out there, however, and didn't seem to be too serious. Puck all the way down now in the Broncos zone. John Rue fighting along near boards. Girardi comes out with it. There's right in front. Gosted, he couldn't do anything with it. Now it's over in the corner to Rue. Rue sends it out to Girardi. Big stop by Rich Rudd. Now Huseman holds it in. And it's dumped all the way out as Huseman tried to hit the point man, couldn't do so. Gosted will chase it down in his own zone and wheel and turn. Here come the Jackets as the Broncos make a change. Gosted races into the zone, taken away by Bergstrom as we have Mellstrom, Glotz, and Bergstrom out now. Now they battle in the Broncos zone. Jackets get control back out to the blue line. Steve Terrell circling in on the near side, knocked off of his stick by Jeff Bernard, and here comes Bernard back to center ice. Bernard dumps it in offside, as in ahead of the play was Glotz.
Boy, Steve, what's so impressive about this Jacket team, they keep on pressing down a goal or up a goal. They constantly keep putting the pressure on the opposing team, and it's really a tribute to Billy Olson and Bill Teacher's club that he gets his players to go out 100% for 3 periods of play every day.
Now that's Hardy dumping it in the Bronco zone. Rudd clears it behind his net. Goes up the near side, Eric Glenny. He tries to get out past Hardy, can't quite do so. Now it does come to center ice. Chasing it down is Hauska, but he's ridden off the puck. And now Stavnes finally dumps it in, and the Jackets send 3 men into forecheck. Over there is Zabachnik to pick it up. He leaves it back there for Steve Terrell. Terrell circles into the slot. Quick shot, goes wide. Big screen set up in front by Schwartz. But the shot went wide. Now Glenny over here on the near boards. And it's dumped out to center ice off of Doug Terrell's skate. And now Hardy goes back, uses a board to dip it over on this side to Tom Sullivan. Now it comes out to center ice with Danny Kasner. He just wheels and fires it in through a couple of Bronco legs and goes into the corner where Doug Terrell chases it down. Now Lindvall along the near boards. Big hit. Lindvall spun around but gets it ahead to Travis Scholl. There comes the Beaver into the zone. Gets it over. Quick shot. Big glove save as that shot came out the stick of Tony Worley. And there to hold on was Rich Jacklin.
Jackets not letting the Broncos get anything mounted right now. For the Jackets to get back in this game right now, they're going to have to open things up. Hope for a few long passes, maybe a 2-on-1, 2-on-0. They're going to have to open the game. Play might be to play a little air hockey, flipping that puck up to center ice, hoping for the 1-on-0.
Comes out of the corner. Travis Scholl is dumped. It's going to be a penalty, I think, on Tom Piscuzzi. Now the puck is controlled. And a tripping call coming up on the Jackets.
Good chance now for Falls to get back in the game. A lot of time left, 12-19 in the third period. But I think the Jackets are just too... they've just been dominating the game so far, and they've... I think they're just too of a dominating club. They really look impressive tonight.
They really, the way they played the last few games, really seem to be head and shoulders above anybody else in the IRC. Of course, this conference is such that on any given night, anybody can knock anybody else off. And the score was 2-1 when Bucky Jensen left the game, and Hibbing quickly exploded for 3 goals, bumping it up to 5-1. Broncos came back, got a goal. Hibbing answered, and they now lead 6-2 with 11:56 left here in the third period. So a lot of intangibles. Had Bucky Jensen not gotten that shot above the pad on the just above the knee, who can tell you what would happen? But Rich Rudd comes up with the save there, and the faceoff comes to the left of Rudd as he looks a little more confident here in this third period.
Good pressure by the Jacket forwards right there, Johnny Rue and Paul Girardi. A lot of times on a penalty kill, you don't want to go in, Steve, and commit yourself. A lot of times they'll just go in and circle, and the defender will have to go back and regroup, and that takes time away and helps the Jackets fill off this penalty.
Now, if Bucky Jensen had come out and felt good in the start of the third period, a lot of people may question why Terry Burns didn't put him back in, but the score is 6-2. It's awfully tough to get back into a hockey game against a club like Hibbing down by 4, and I think Terry's just saying, I'll give Bucky a rest now and let him make sure he's 100% and get back into it. Now the Broncos putting some pressure on. Scholl fans on that shot after the backhand shot by Gingerich went wide. Comes all the way down. Back to pick it up is Kevin Erickson. Erickson steams to center ice, but it's intercepted by Huseman. Knocked right back in the Fall zone. Now back for it is Tony Worley. Worley circles. See, now if Tony Worley were to marry cheerleader Cheryl Bird, they'd be Whirly Bird. But anyway, couldn't resist that one. And the puck rolls right on Rich Jacklin. He holds on, and a little pushing and shoving down there as Broncos kept digging away at it. But it's one of those games. Give me a break. And it will come to the right of goaltender Rich Jacklin.
Yeah, I think that is a smart move by Terry Burns to keep his top goaltender Bucky Jensen out. With that knee and the blood vessels breaking up like that, it stiffens up and he's not as mobile. And when your knee is not as mobile, if he has to move one certain way, it can crack or, tear ligaments.
And if you have any medical questions, please write to Lance Northey, care of Hibbing. Oh, nice save by Rich Jacklin. He has his doctorate in hockey. He played hockey for many a year in 2 Harbors and, of course, with the Hibbing Community College Cardinals. And now joining us, thankfully, on our broadcast, he brings great information and great insight to our broadcast. Now play in the Bronco zone. Sticks flying, bodies flying every which direction. And that's going to be a penalty on the Broncos, as there was a really not necessary at all for that to happen. Pulled down Brian Bergstrom, pulled down Schwartz. Johnny Schwartz is taking a beating out there tonight, but Bergstrom pulls him down, and now there's 11 seconds left in the Hibbing penalty, and Brian Bergstrom will go for the Broncos.
It gives a good chance for the Jackets now to pull way ahead. You don't want to pound a team in the ice, but you want to body him around and maybe get up a couple goals, because you never know when you're going to face this team in the playoffs, and it gives the Jackets maybe a psychological advantage if these teams do face later on the playoffs, that the Broncos might think coming into the playoff game that, boy, can we really beat these Jackets? And for that point, it would be good for the Jackets to keep putting on the pressure, maybe get up another couple goals.
And the Broncos, of course, lost the first meeting of the year up in International Falls about a month ago by a score of 5-3. Now on the break comes Corey Lindvall on the near side. Lindvall being checked from behind nicely as he was ridden off the puck. Back checking was Girardi. And Pascuzzi on the ice. It'll be whistled down. If he had touched the puck, it would have been whistled down. He was offside. Now here comes Girardi. He fans on it as Jacklin. Rich Rudd was flopping all over the place here. Now Steve Terrell will control down to the corner. Terrell looking for somebody to pass it to. Now drops it back to Johnny Rue. Rue circles. Straight through the slot by Schwartz, and it comes all the way outside, and Steve Terrell will hold on. Now he tries to get over to Gossett, but the puck winds up on the far boards, and Travis Scholl just dumps it out to center ice, where the Jackets again control, and they're offside, and we'll have a delayed offside called, and the faceoff coming just outside the Jacket blue line.
Nice hustle by Paul Girardi on the back check there, taking his player, Corey Lindvall, out to the side for a bad angle shot, and Jackets wouldn't have had that last rush if it wasn't for the hustle of Paul Girardi. Good hustle on his part.
Great play by Girardi. By the way, just as a matter of explanation, I was a sports editor. If you don't know, I was a sports editor at International Falls and know a lot of these kids. And Cheryl Bird and I are friends. She's a cheerleader over at the Bronco cheerleader. She's a senior, and I just had to throw that one in. She won't see it, but I just had to throw it in. It was it looked cute. I saw it on my thing. I said, that works. So I'm sorry. And offside as Zabachnik left the blue line a little early. He held up, but he just let loose of the blue line just a hair early, and he was offside. Jackets on the power play now for another 50 seconds.
Starting at 9:45,
Well, Steve, if not for a sports announcer, you can sure make it as a comedian. We're really good there.
Wonderful. I'm eating M&Ms and I'm laughing. Okay, Zabachnik dumps it back to the point to Dougie Terrell. Shot is blocked by Travis Scholl. Here comes Travis, and it's knocked off his stick nicely as Doug Terrell stays with him, rides him into the boards. And now Huseman starts it out to center. He dumps it off the boards, knocked down off the official. Now comes out to center ice. Comes in the zone. Oh, nice centering attempt by Tom Sullivan. Couldn't quite hit Andy O'Brien. Now Tommy Sullivan just plants himself right in front of the goaltender, and he takes up a little space there as he's a stocky young man, and the Broncos are back at full strength now. Held at the point nicely by Huseman. He just dumps it in the air down the corner. Now fed ahead, and out come the Broncos. Tough to see their numbers. That was number 13, T.J. Culbertson, all the way down on Jacklin. He makes a save. Nice play down there as Bergstrom met Terrell trying to come up from behind the net. They still battle behind the net. Now they let loose of each other. Shot right on again. Jacklin tips it back, and Doug Terrell picks it up again. Now headmans it up for number 14, Darren Bizal. As Hibbing giving their fourth line a little work now of Mike Sanborn, number 11, Darren Bizal, number 14, and Chad Walters, number 9. Now comes out in the slot. Shot attempt taken by Mark Loak, but it's blocked, and it comes outside the zone. Tipped ahead. Here comes Sanborn. Sanborn whistles a shot from the near side, and Rudd has it between his legs and squeezes them and holds on. for another face-off. Rudd's been a little more steady this period.
Well, he's got a few shots, under his belt, and that always helps. He came in cold, only a few wrist shots, into the pads to get him warmed up, and he doesn't have the confidence that Bucky Jensen does, and in that respect, it's tough to come into a ball game.
And Richie is an 11th grader, so he will be back next year. And the Falls has a awesome Bantam hockey team up there. And some of those guys I'm sure you'll be seeing on the Falls Broncos in the next few years, as they, at this point, the Falls Bantams are 27-2 so far this year. Now, dump back to the point to Hardy, puts a quick shot on. Rudd makes a save and dives out on top of the puck with two Jackets standing right over him. And again, Richie Rudd makes a stop.
This program is brought to you in part by First Federal Savings and Loan, the Men's Shop, Claudio Oldsmobile, and the Viking Supply.
Now play down in the Bronco zone, comes around the near boards. Stavnis pinches in to block the puck, knock it down, and now Rue picks it up, takes it into the corner. Rue coming around the near side, looking for somebody to pass to, circles back. Now they battle behind the net, and it comes free, and tripping over the extended goal line was number 14, Travis Scholl. Now a shot right off the side as Rudd holds the pipe. Now he goes to the wrong side of the net. Now manages to get back in as Rue controls. Rue sends it out front. Shot again, and Richie Rudd is there. And this period could be a good confidence builder for Rich Rudd.
It'll be nice to see, if he gets a few more shots on goal, it gets tested. You don't know if Bucky Jensen will be able to play in the next few games. Injury like that you don't know how long it's going to last. 1 week, 2 weeks. To get him into the game, you want to have two goalies ready for playoff time.
Well, I saw Rich Rudd between periods, and he was saying, he was smiling, he was taking it all in stride, knowing that he just hasn't had a real strong year. And again, I just told him, go out there and relax. He looked stiff as a board in that second period, and told him take one shot at a time, and hopefully he can do that. And I guess I'd be honest with you, I'd like to see this game end 6-2, but Jackets have it well in hand. Now it's just a question. They wave off the icing. Now it's blown by Talk, so we'll have a face-off. One official blew it off at the last second. Talk knows he made a mistake, hangs his head at center ice, and gets a tap on the behind from Tony Worley. So Tim Renskers will face it off at center ice, and when the official makes an error, face-off automatically comes out to center ice. Now it's dumped back in the Jacket zone. Jacklin sets it up behind the net. Now it's a battle for, and Gosted comes out. Long lead pass had Terrell breaking. Offside is called. Hand pass or offside, but a face-off will come outside the zone. Terrell was breaking, just missed him.
It's a good play by the Jackets there. I don't know if you really want to do that at this time. At any time you play that air hockey game, you can get caught. Jackets right now, I don't think need to do that. You look for the open man, almost got him.
I think Bill Olson's saying just that over there as he talks with Gosted, as guys Gosted and Terrell come off the ice. The Jackets really don't need to play, though, take those chances and play that kind of hockey with a big lead. And that face-off will come when off of Rudd's blocker, so the face-off will come to the right of goaltender Rich Rudd.
We've been talking a lot about Bucky Jensen and the goaltender Rich Rudd here, but I thought Rich Jacklin's played an outstanding game. He's made some tough saves. One fluke goal hits his skates and trickles in, but he's played a good game tonight.
Richie Rudd has been, I think, the surprise of this season for the Jackets. I think a lot of people just totally expected as a Jackets center right in front, nobody home, and it comes back to center. I think a lot of people expected it to be Jim Monticelli all year, and I'll be honest with you, I was one of those people. But Rich Jacklin has come on. Oh, a high shot goes over the goaltender's shoulder. Oh, tripping over the puck is Huseman. And back to center ice comes T.J. Culbertson. Now we have a battle along the far boards. And it comes back out to center ice. Shot in. No offside, so Hardy will turn. I really, I didn't know what to expect from Rich Rudd. I saw the B squad play somewhat last year and didn't really know what to expect from Rich Rudd, or Rich Jacklin. I keep making that mistake. I'm sorry, Rich. And he's had an excellent year. He hasn't hurt the Jackets in any way, shape, or form. I don't believe he's lost a game. I don't think he lost any of the games they've played so far this year. So the young man has really shown that he has matured greatly in this season. And the senior goaltender is really coming on here late in the year as there's an offside on the Jackets.
That's nice to know too. You know, the state tournament playoffs coming up. You know that Billy Olson knows he has 2 goaltenders that he can put in at any time. You know, to take the role of to play for the Hibbing Blue Jackets.
John Rue takes the face-off against Tim Mellstrom. Puck comes back in the foul zone. Oh, that hurt. Kevin Erickson fell down, crashed heavily into the boards. I think he may be hurt now. He's rammed by Rue and pushes back at John Rue. Now they shove and push at each other. And cooler heads will try to prevail down there. Talk in there. Now Tim Renskers comes in. And great move there by referee Zolke as he quickly blew the whistle and tells everybody get out of the zone because a change of line's coming up. You got a few too many players on the ice there.
Johnny Rue's got to remember, you know, they have playoffs coming up, and he doesn't want to get kicked out of any games. He's a talented player, and they don't want to see the likes of him to miss a game, you know. Frustration building up for the Broncos right now. They're going to do the pushing and shoving. They're not the better team tonight, and Jackets got to remember to back away from that stuff right now.
And the Jackets have a tough week coming up next week as they finish out their season. We're going to have a penalty now as guys are pushing and shoving. Penalties, I believe they're both going to go. 3 and 19 will go. Kevin Erickson and Steve Terrell.
This is a good idea here by Bob Talk, I think the official from Greenway Grand Rapids area. He's seeing things get out of hand right now, and he doesn't want them to get any more out of hand, and he's going to call it tight now from now on, and he sees the score 6-2, and he doesn't want to see anybody get thrown out of the game.
Time of those penalties, 10-11. High sticking on Erickson. High sticking on everybody. I thought it was Erickson, but I guess they gave it to Mellstrom. I don't have to wait and see. Yeah, they did. It's Tim Mellstrom, number 18, instead of Kevin Erickson. Now we battle in the Jacket zone. Here come the Jackets back to center ice. Shot in. Puck goes behind the net. It's on the netting. And the faceoff will come outside the Bronco blue line with 4:28 left to play.
I think the Broncos are a year off. You know, like this young line here of Schold and Gingerich and Lindahl, they're all 10th graders there.
No, Schold is a senior, so he'll be gone. He'll be probably at UMD next year, but the 2 wingers will be back.
So they got a bright future looking up, you know, to the next season and the season after.
Boy, and with that Bantam team they have, as we said, whoa, what a hit over there. As Tony Worley just leveled little Pat Zabachnik. Now the play in center ice, players trying to fall on the puck, getting it all over, and now it's dumped in by Zabachnik. He almost took Bob Talk's head off with that little flip into the zone. And back to control is number 5, Tony Worley. Well, Broncos have a bright future with the Bantam team that they have. They're 27-2, and those kids have been playing together for a couple years now. And most of them are 9th and 10th graders, I suppose, and 9th graders, maybe 8th and 9th graders even. Laid offside, so I'm not sure exactly the age of Bantams, but I would think they're probably 14 and 15. That bodes well for the future of International Falls hockey.
I think we said before too, Steve, you know, the enrollment on schools too, and that has a lot to plague. Falls maybe down in enrollment, having to play their freshmen and sophomores, where the Jackets, you know, high in enrollment, don't have to play.
Now we got a break. Here comes T.J. Culbertson all alone. And goal! T.J. Culbertson scores for the Broncos.
Jackets getting a little lax on defense right now. T.J. Culbertson picking off the pass, deking Richie Jacklin and sliding under his legs. Nice play by T.J.
Culbertson's an 11th grader. He'll be back next year. Time of that goal, 11-27. 23. Unassisted goal for Culbertson as the Jackets played giveaway. And now the Broncos charge back to center ice. 34 seconds still left in those double minors. Here comes Lindvall. Nice move. Shot the goal! Oh. And here come the Broncos. Beautiful play by Corey Lindvall.
Nice play by Corey Lindahl there, sliding the puck through the Jacket defender's legs and beating Jacklin on the low glove hand side. Jacklin not covering that angle maybe too well. It was a low shot. It was a nice shot by Corey Lindahl. Brings the Broncos within 2, and game to look like out of hand, now right back in the Broncos' grasp.
Well, this will bring the Jackets back down to earth quickly, and here they come again. Travis Scholl charging in, gets around the defenseman. Oh, no, nice play by Stavnes to knock it away as Scholl was one move away from breaking in alone on Jacklin again. Jeff Bernard gets the assist on Lindvall's goal. Now it's in the Bronco zone.
Boy, it kind of makes you think what would happen if Bucky Jensen was still in the nets right now.
This game, I think, would have a totally different complexion. Both teams are now back at full strength, and Scholl holds the puck in the Jacket zone. Now steaming out to center ice comes big Steve Terrell. Busts it back out to center ice does Stavnes. Now a long dump just in the zone so the Broncos can change lines, and they do change it up. Now long lead pass for the Jackets off for nobody, and number 2, Hauska goes back, controls, but it's taken off his stick by Andy O'Brien. Now they struggle. Andy O'Brien broke his stick and has to go to the bench and get a new one, and now the Broncos will complete the line change.
2:17 remaining in this third period. I think it'd be wise for Terry Burns to call a timeout and rest up his 2 lines so they get ready to go. 6-4, you don't want to wait till the last minute and call a timeout. Then it's almost too late to get the 2 goals in the last minute. If he takes one now, he's got time to rest up his 2 lines and get ready for the last 2 minutes.
Well, he's got his second line out right now, Mellstrom, Glotz, and Bergstrom, with Hauska and Kendall Corpy on the defense. Comes back to the point, shot by Gustin, kicked out nicely by Rich Rudd. I know Richie Rudd from last year, and I'm kind of glad to see he's playing a little better this period. You hate to see a guy go out there and get shelled, and he's playing a little more steady this period, and it's nice to see. Maybe he'll get some confidence up. Number 10 knocked down was Bergstrom as he took a high stick. Now it comes out of the zone, held in there by Girardi as he came out towards the blue line, dumped it back into the corner. Now Pescuzzi's got to take the far point. Drop back for Hauska. He just dumps it over everybody all the way down. Let's see if it's got enough momentum to pull an icing. It will. Icing on the Broncos with 1:38 left to play in this third period, and Hibbing leading 6-4 now. 2 goals within 20 seconds by the Broncos pulled them back to within 6-4.
That's really impressive on the Broncos' part. You know, 6-2. With only I think 4 minutes left in the 4 or 5 minutes left in the game. They came back and are now within 2 goals.
And I think it'd be safe to say this one's in the bag for the Jackets, but boy, I'll tell you, they're going to have to just keep the pressure on, though, keep the puck down in the Bronco zone and make sure, because one more goal and this changes the whole complexion if the Broncos should score again. But the Jackets in their forechecking. Here comes Huseman. He holds it in, whistles a shot. Oh, that went off of Pat Zabotnik's ankle. And Zabotnik limps to center ice. Long shot high off the chest of goaltender Jacklin. Now it's held in at the point. The Broncos keep the pressure on. Could be time for Rich Rudd to maybe leave his net here as they keep the pressure on this first line. Now Gingerich, here they come right out front. Travis Scholl wheels, fires. Oh, and a tremendous stop by Rich Jacklin as he comes up big with 58 seconds left in this third period.
Nice shot by Travis Scholl, just turning around and firing. Used a partial screen by the Jacket defender and got the nice shot off, and Jacklin having to come up big.
Yeah, it'd be interesting to see what the complexion of this game would have been had Bucky Jensen stayed in the game.
Boy, I'd like to see Terry Burns call a timeout, though, you know. 58 seconds left. He can rest up his group now.
This game is tight. Faceoff's coming to the left of Jacklin, and people are leaving the arena. Well, that's, I guess, the way things are. If they do that in L.A., I guess it's fashionable to do that then. People come to the L.A. Forum to watch the Lakers play. They arrive towards the end of the first quarter, and they leave right after the end of the third quarter. So try that here. Now a quick backhander comes outside the zone. That should about kill it for the Jackets, but turning quickly, trying to come back in was number 9, Tim Kilbride. Now puck's behind the Jacket net, knocked down by Brian Bergstrom. Bergie falls. Now it comes out towards the blue line, and Tom Sullivan tries to skate out. Now passes it out to Kasner. He couldn't quite control the pass. Kasner attempts to make a big hit on Mark Roak. Now what have we got? A penalty on the Jackets, I believe. Tom Pescuzzi is going to go for the Jackets with 20 seconds left in the game. So he'll sit out the rest of the game unless the Broncos score again.
Hibbing penalty goes to number 15, Tom Pescuzzi.
Boy, Steve, I'm not one too many times to criticize coaches too much, but the puck was down in the Jackets' end there for a minute there, and I think down 2 goals, it would have been a good time to pull the goaltender and get them down there. They're down 2 goals. 20 seconds now they're pulling their goaltender. It's maybe too late.
Terry Burns is the kind of guy, I got to know him last year a little bit and even talking to him this year. He's the kind of coach that wants to wait until they're in control of the situation, and he'd much rather wait until there's a face-off when he can call everybody over and talk to them at once and get things settled. He doesn't like to do a lot of things. He changes lines quickly on the fly, but he doesn't really feel like it's his advantage to pull the goaltender while plays in session because you put another player out there and you got a lot of people. Hi there. You got a lot of people. What are we doing here? You got a lot of people that are, running around, not sure what positions to play, and here he's getting a chance. However, there are only 20 seconds left, so I think it's another one of those situations of, too little, too late.
You know, Steve, I don't think there is too many bad coaches in the IRC or at any level. It's just that some coaches have a harder time getting their theory across, and I think that's the difference between the winners and the losers is, getting your theory and getting your point across to your players. If you don't do that, you come up on the short end of the stick quite a few times.
Well, it's a new system. Terry has come in this year and changed everything up from what Larry Ross used to do. They use a different style. And consequently, a lot of these kids grew up watching Larry Ross, knowing the Ross system, are now having to relearn hockey, and they haven't done badly at it. That's going to be another face-off call. I think it might have been offside. With 17 seconds left to play. So the Broncos came back and made it a very respectable score at 6-4, and still have a chance to maybe even close it to 6-5 here. Comes in the zone. That's Bergstrom. Scholl tries to get it ahead to Lindvall. Can't do so. Now overskated. Scholl touched it out. It's just shot straight down the ice, a little bit wide of the net with 6 seconds to play. They can't call icing. The Jackets are short-handed. Just used the boards to bump it up to center ice. That's the end of this hockey game. With the final score, Hibbing 6, International Falls 4. Lance has a wrap-up.
The only 2 goals of that period were scored by International Falls. The third goal for the International Falls Broncos was scored by T.J. Culbertson, unassisted, at 11:23 of the third period. Fourth goal scored by the International Falls Broncos was Corey Lindahl. Assist went to Jeff Bernard, and that was at 11:43 of the third period.
Rugg made 8 saves in that period for a game total of 24. Rich Jacklin in the Hibbing net had 8 saves for a game total of 20. Not a lot of shots taken. 10 goals scored, 44 shots taken, but nonetheless, a win is a win. And of course, the unfortunate injury to Bucky Jensen really changed the complexion of this game, and it would have been interesting to see what happened if Bucky had stayed in the game.
Could have been real interesting. Top goaltender like Bucky Jensen. I think when he left the game, the score was only 2-1, and momentum was not really on each other's side. It was quite an even game till that point.
And Rich is, Bucky's gingerly skating off the ice here down below us. As well officiated game, well played game. Both teams did an excellent job and bought themselves well. And this just sets up, should Falls finish 4th and Hibbing finish 1st, this just sets up, should they come through, another battle coming up here is 1 and 4 will play and 2 and 3 will play. And I guess Hibbing finishing 1st will get home ice. So conceivably in the quarterfinals, or actually semifinals, should these teams come through, Hibbing will take on International Falls right here. But for this time and period anyway, Hibbing has won the second game of the season against International Falls by 2 goals. The second time they won 5-3 first. This time they win 6-4. For Lance Northey, I'm Steve Zimmerman, thanking you for joining us this evening and wishing you a very pleasant good evening.